Here we are at the Grissom Building, the city's operations facility for the Public Works Department. This facility contains buses, solid waste vehicles, street department, stormwater, and sanitary sewer vehicles for the entire city operations. So here we are on the back side of the Grissom Building, and as the stormwater flows off the parking lot and the buildings and the rooftops, it picks up pollutants, the same kind of pollutants it would pick up in a mall parking lot or in the school parking lot. And it takes, the stormwater runoff takes those pollutants and it carries them off to our creeks and streams. Well, by putting this improvement in place, we're trying to filter those pollutants out. We're trying to slow the stormwater runoff that goes to our creeks and streams so that what gets to our creeks and streams is cleaner and healthier for everyone. Well, it's a little snow covered right now, so you can't see much, but in the springtime, we're going to have lots of grasses and plants and shrubs blooming. This is a small area that we call rain garden, and it's right next to our bioretention basin. And basically the difference between the two is the bioretention basin has an underdrain. So we want to be sure that our pond will eventually drain off over time. We do want it to drain slowly to reduce the amount of runoff that does get in our creeks and streams, and allow more of that runoff to be used by the plants. And we had a lot of volunteers help with the planting of the facility.
Well, the project just seems like, a good project to help the environment, that it was just kind of a raw area before that, and now it's catching the sediment and the stormwater and giving it a chance to filter and clean up a little before it goes and hits Bear Creek. Well, we started in the morning, it was nice. We met out there about 8:39, and then we knew the rain was coming, so we were working pretty quick. And then around noon it started clouding up, and I think about 1:30 we had about 10 plants left and it started pouring. So we got those 10 plants and then took off.
So here we are at the outlet for the bioretention basin, and our monitoring equipment is housed here in this trash can. What actually happens is that the water comes off the parking lot from the Grissom Building and enters the bioretention basin, carrying the various pollutants and stuff that is picked up along the way. It comes into this and it slows down. So whereas it used to just run off the parking lot and go directly to our creeks and streams, we've intercepted the water. We're slowing it down is the first thing we've done. That gives the opportunity for some of the heavier pollutants, such as sediment, to drop out. The next thing that occurs is the water slowly filters through the ground. We've got a layer of sand and mulch, and think of a sand filter for any kind of drinking water system. It's similar. That sand is going to filter some of the pollutants out of the water. The other thing that occurs is we've got plants in here, and those plants will take up some of the water and use them in their evapotranspiration process. In addition, some plants will also take up some of those pollutants and use them. All of the plants in this bioretention basin are native plants, and the benefit of native plants is they root more deeply into the ground. And by rooting more deeply into the ground, it provides more opportunity for the water to infiltrate into the ground, to slow that water down, to use more of that water.
We're using automatic water samplers. They can detect the amount of water that's flowing through these H flumes here, where we are quantifying the amount of water. So if there's a rain event and the level of the water raises up, then they know it triggers the samplers to collect water based on that increase in flow. And then within 48 hours of a rain event, I have to come out here and collect the water samples, which are then brought to a lab and analyzed for contaminants. We're looking at pollutants that may be coming off of this site, which includes some heavy metals such as zinc, copper, and lead. We're looking at nitrogen and phosphorus, as well as different types of solids, total dissolved solids, total suspended solids, which a lot of that is basically sediment that may have additional contaminants with that sediment.
Here we are at the outlet for our bioretention basin, and right now because of the snow melt there's a trickle flow, but during a typical storm event You would see quite a bit of water coming in at the top of the bioretention basin, coming into the bioretention basin, and then just a small trickle flow like this coming out. With snow melt, it's going to be a slow process over time. The treated water we're sampling at the end, we're measuring how much water is coming out, and we're also measuring the pollutants that are coming out. Now this water will go under the road here, and it'll end up at the bottom of our step pool system. Both of those will go under I-70, the interstate, and continue on to Bear Creek. And it's our hope that by treating the water up here and removing some of the pollutants and slowing the water down, that it's providing a greater benefit to Bear Creek and keeping Bear Creek clean and healthy. All of Columbia contributes to the Missouri River watershed and contributes to our local watersheds. So whatever we can do to improve that, we're always striving to do so. Here at this Grissom site, we've got a few more projects planned with our grant money. What we hope to do this next year is install some underground detention and porous pavement, and a couple more rain gardens as well. So we would like to have all the water from this Grissom site treated with one of our stormwater features before it goes off to our creeks and streams, so that we can keep our creeks and streams healthy for everyone to enjoy.